and welcome back to Good Nightmare. Today I'm going to show you how we separate all of our curriculum and lesson plans and the tests and the quarter reports so that they're very easily accessible. Now, I'm already getting ready for our next school year. We just finished quarter 3. Yay! So we have about 9 weeks left of school, and we'll split those up. We'll have a couple breaks in there because we have some holidays for us, and so we're looking forward to that. However, we year-round homeschool, so if you want to see our video on that, please click on that video showing you how we do our year-round homeschool. But today I'm going to separate my new curriculum for our next school year, which will start in July, for 4th grade and 6th grade into these binders. So what I usually do is I just go to any office supply store and pick up these really awesome 2-inch 3-ring binders, and I get 4. Now, last year I had smaller ones, and I just felt like there wasn't enough space to turn the pages. There are so many lesson plans and so many tests that I feel like we needed a little bit more space. So I did pick these up. They're a little larger than the ones I used last year. I think it'll be easier on our kids to be able to flip through the pages. And I get 4 because I put the lesson plans in one, and then all of the quarter reports, tests, and what's the other thing that come with the quarter reports and the tests? I always forget. Answer keys, of course. Who wants the kids to have the answer keys? Not this part, not this mama. So the answer keys, the quarter reports, and the tests all go into one binder. I hang on to that, and the kids have access to their lesson plans. The reason I do that is because I want them to learn responsibility in looking for what they're supposed to do for that day, and it makes it very easy to access for them. So let's get started. I think that Flower had picked the blue and white, so we're gonna start with that. My bear loves purple, so we'll hang on to that one for him. So I'm gonna put, and Seton does a really nice thing. They separate it all for you with the teacher plan book, which is fantastic, and it's already hole punched. Now, I know for a lot of the European families, the sizes of your binders do not match the American punctures for the 3-hole punch. So if you ever have an issue with that, please feel free to message me. I will be more than happy to send them to you. You know, just pay the difference of the shipping and whatever it would be. If you really need those binders, I know Amazon sells them. Home Depot, Office Depot, Staples. Home Depot doesn't sell. Maybe Home Depot sells binders. What do I know? But I just go ahead and put all of the lesson plans in because they're already separated for you. So all you have to do after you get all these lesson plans in here is to, let's see, are you in? There we go. I then take Post-it notes, regular, good old, sticky Post-it notes, and I go through and section, I missed a hole, guys. I'm terrible at this. I go through and section off, just put, whatever. I section off the lesson plans by subject. So here is the curriculum exchange form, and then they give you your quarterly checklist. I leave these in here. It doesn't hurt anybody. The kids are not doing anything with that, so I just leave it. So here's our first section, art. So I will put a sticky note right there. And one of the reasons I love the 2-inch binders is because it does give you, I don't know if you can see, it does give you that extra space in the margin to be able to put those sticky notes in. So I literally just go through. Art is super easy. It's like 2 pages of curriculum lesson plans. And then the next section is English. So I just go to the English page, and then I stick a sticky note about 2 inches down. And I keep going, guys. And then when I'm done, I go back, write on the sticky note right here what the subject is, and the kids have no problem finding it, and then they can move that sticky note as they go through the lesson plans. And if it ever gets lost, heck, all you have to do is just stick a new sticky note in there. It's not a big deal. I did a boo-boo and put Little Bears in the white binder, so we're just gonna switch because I'm not taking it out. So Little Bear will still get the purple binder, but Flower will now have 2 blues. Oh well, it'll all work out. If they're really that heartbroken, it'll be a project for one day. But just go ahead through and go ahead and put your sticky notes in and make it easy on yourself. The easier it is for you, the more organized your homeschool will be. And so just take a look through them. A lot of these English lessons or English lesson plans also have a small paragraph writing handbook. Sometimes I will put that with the lesson or the tests. Most of the time I just leave them with the actual lesson plans because I want my kids to have access to it at all times. So I just kind of look through, and the top of every page tells you what lesson it's for. And so if you get lost, it's very easy to say, oh, well, that's the end of history, so let's go to music. And I just keep on going, sticky note it up. And then you can adjust the sticky notes if you need to. And then there's PE, like everything is very, very simplified. Having these lesson plans is such a blessing because it's a guideline, guys. You know your kids best, so do what works for them. You need an extra day spent on, going over math problems? Do that. Catch up. You have 365 days to finish what schooling does in 180. Take advantage of that. Draw it out. Make sure your kids know it all before you move on to the next subject. It's just going to get harder if you just keep moving along and they haven't really mastered that yet. So I feel like these lesson plans are really helpful in doing that. They're wonderful. Here's the reading section of grade 6. It has a list also of the books, and at the beginning it gives you a book report handbook, which is awesome. It's very helpful. Do not look past these. These are like incredible for helping your student get organized. I think without them, our son would probably not really know the steps on how to write a book report. This lays it out so very clearly that there's no question. So the reading section tends to be a little bit bigger because of the book report information. So don't get scared. It's all in there. It's all great. Then we have our religion section. We're just going to keep sticky noting. And I do this for all of the lesson plans. So the other thing is we added a different science curriculum. And so I have that here. So I'm just going to put it right over top of this science curriculum because I still need that other science curriculum. We're still doing health. So I don't want to get rid of it, but I do want to make sure that my son has access to the actual science curriculum. This one's stapled, so I will just remove the staple a little bit later, but it's going to look like a giant science section. It's only because we opted out of the included Seton program and went with a different science curriculum, which is fantastic. Seton allows you to do that. It's wonderful. Here's our vocab. So spelling is a very short section because it literally tells you to follow the book. The book is labeled on the pages to follow it week by week and day by day, which is fantastic. And then I love the vocab that Seton does because they do give you vocab quizzes for every single week. Love that. Again, so we had our math also, so we're going to go back. Just make sure there is one on the back here. Our math was not on here. Let's see. So I'm just going to add our math in here's our Saxon math, because we decided to do that math program instead of the included math program, which would have just been Saxon math, I think 6, 7, 5, 6. It would have been 5, 6, because this is 6, 7. So this is fantastic. This is all, oop, I didn't put my little sticky note. Gotta remember the sticky note. So let's put our sticky note here for math. And then, okay, so now that I've gotten all of our curriculum and answer keys, tests, and quarter report forms inside of the binders, I just wanted to show you that I do the same thing for the quarter reports and the tests, because then it makes it easy for me. When I have to find a test, when I have to find, you know, one of the answer keys, it's all set up in the same kinds of sections. So for art, I will put it on the very first page of whatever the grading paper is that I have to send in. And I again just go through, I'm going through flowers right now. So art stops, and then we have English. And I'm just gonna stick another Post-it. And you do it however you feel is right for your family. If you think that this is like a waste, then do it different. There is nobody saying that you have to do it this way. But this is what works for us, and if it works for somebody else, fantastic. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. It just makes it really, really easy. Okay, let's get back to work here. The same way that I do the lesson plans, I do the answer keys, quarter tests, and quarter reports. So I just go through, and this makes it way, way easier for me when I have to send everything in and grade things. Everything is already separated, everything's very easy to find, and nothing gets lost this way. It's all in the binder. It's not coming out of the binder until we need it. And I keep the quarter reports, the answers, and the tests in a separate space from the actual lesson plans. This gives my kids the freedom to look through their lesson plans, see what's coming up, see what they need to prepare themselves for, and it makes it very easy. So like I said, all I do is put some sticky notes in here, and then it also makes it easy so that when I take that page out, because I need to use it, I can just move the sticky note to the next page. Or if the sticky note gets lost, I just go ahead and different sticky note. It's really not that hard. Now, I've had a lot of questions about the teacher plan book. So even though it says teacher plan book, what I usually do is I go through the lesson plans and, at least for my personal use, write what they're supposed to do daily, week by week, in here. And you'll see that it's a weekly format. And so I just write, you know, whatever week it is at the top, and what our plan is to get done Monday, what our plan is to get done Tuesday. This way we kind of stay on track. We know where we're supposed to be by the end of the week. We know where we're supposed to be by the end of a quarter. And this is easy to just look through and say, okay, oh, week 18, we have to make sure that we have all of our stuff together so that we can send it into Seton. And I find these to be super helpful. This is kind of my go-to when I have to pull their books to know what they're doing each day. I really like this system. But I do love having my Post-it notes also. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. Again, if you have any questions or comments about how I organize my curriculum, or you want to know more, please leave me a message in the comments box. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell so that you can have notifications for when we post all of our new videos. But for right now, good night!